Welcome back, YouTube viewers, to the 2008 Cleveland Browns Bash, and I'm your host, AJ. I want to start things off today by saying that when I do this show, I try to be respectful to the team that we're playing, despite any animosity that might be between my Browns and whoever we're playing, such as the Steelers or the Ravens or the Bengals. And whenever I get comments on my videos from fans of the opposing team coming and trash talking, that's absolutely fine, because that is part of football. The trash talking and all that, that's part of football, and that's great. You know what? I don't mind that at all. But there was one comment that I received this last week on my Week 2 Part 1 video, which was, the first video before our Steelers game on Sunday night. And it was just a very nasty comment about me by a guy, I think his name was PMS09. I think it was a PMS09, and he was talking about how watching my show was awful, how I need to be talking about getting a job. I'm sorry. If he doesn't like the show, if you don't like the show, dude, you don't have to watch it. That's perfectly fine by me. There's people that do like to watch it, and to you viewers that like it, I'm sorry I'm rattling on instead of talking about the Browns. I just want everyone to know that I appreciate my viewers, and whoever hates the show, you don't have to watch it. And as far as a job goes, college is enough work. It keeps me plenty busy. I'm not a deadbeat who sits around thinking about my Browns video all week. Alright, so first, now getting into last week, I'm going to kind of integrate last week's game with this week's game because a lot of it is my same thoughts. This is one of the worst feelings I've had as a Browns fan, and that's really saying something because the expectations this season were just so high, and we fell so far. We were a young team. People did not see this coming, I guess. I mean, I kind of saw it coming, although the excitement kind of overrode my vision of it, and that was this is a young team that was expected to perform very well in the AFC, and we just have not shown up yet. And it's a tough feeling to have such high anticipation and start so poorly. But we still have a chance, The season is not done yet, although it's very easy to give up. First of all, like I said, we're 0-3. We lost to the Baltimore Ravens 28-10 last week. I'm going to be talking about that game as I talk about what I think we need to do this week against the Bengals. First of all, and this is so generic, but I just cannot stress this enough. I told it, that's one of the reasons. I feel like this plan is almost like last week's. We need to get the offense going. Offensively, we rank dead last in the NFL 3 weeks into the season. We're 1 year removed from scoring the 8th most points in the league. Last week, I stressed that we need to put points on the board. Instead, we continued our downward spiral from that 10-6 season that we had last year. We have to get things together now to avoid national embarrassment. Okay, we still have 4 primetime games against tough opponents. We have to turn our season around unless we want to be embarrassed on national TV. And the primary way to start to turn around your season is against another 0-3 team. Now, true, we're 0-3. I'm not dissing the Bengals for being 0-3. We're 0-3 too, okay? We both suck. But if we're going to turn things around, just for the Bengals, if they need to turn things around, if they want to, both teams need to win this game. In my opinion, obviously from the Browns' perspective, we need to win. This is a must-win game. I mean, to anyone who does not believe this is a must-win game, must be aiming for a high draft pick. We have to win this game. Now, an extension of that is the ground game and big plays. I feel like I'm being redundant when I say that the Browns need to get the ground game going. But last week we called on our backs for only 15 carries, yet they averaged 4.9 yards per carry. Tell me how your running backs can have a 4.9 yards per carry average, yet only get 15 carries. Jamal Lewis called the situation pathetic. He only got 12 carries, and I completely agree with him. That is just horrible. I mean, it doesn't make any sense at all. This week we have to aim to keep the ball on the ground against a defense that has allowed 174 rushing yards per game this season. That's the Bengals defense. And if we are successful, the big plays will open downfield. Hopefully, Derek Anderson won't overshoot his wide open targets like he did last week against the Ravens with Joshua Cribbs. Josh had like a step and a half on his defenders, and Derek Anderson just aired it over his head. Very frustrating. Those are the kind of plays that turn those kind of games around. And my third and final key is the defensive secondary. Let me set this up first by talking about last week. I feel like our defense did a good job last week, okay? With the 2 interceptions, 2 sacks, and we only allowed 3.4 yards per carry by the Ravens on the ground. I think that they gave the team a chance to win. Now, remember last week after the Steelers game, I said in this game we needed to hold them. We need to do better than the 3.8 yards per carry that we allowed the Steelers to get. Now, we allowed 3.4. Now, statistically, if you allow a team to get 3.3 yards per carry and they rush 3 times, they will not get a first down. That is, the basic number. We got 3.4. Like I said, we had the interceptions, we had the sacks. Our defense played a good game. The only problem was that our offense destroyed the defense's effort. They only held the ball for 22 minutes. 22 minutes out of a 60-minute game. The defense was worn out, too. I mean, how can you not? Our offense has just, it has been, I realize that there's the injuries, but we need this week to make a huge statement. I mean, this is our statement week now. We had a 10-7 lead at the half. But, Derek Anderson, he had 2 of his 3 interceptions. 1 was directly returned for a touchdown. The other, a short field, was set up. You can't expect the defense to play that well on such a short field. And in my mind, they were only directly responsible for 14 points. The defense was. We played much better on the defensive side of the ball the last 2 weeks, and I hope we keep it up against the Bengals. The Bengals haven't done anything too special on offense this season, but they did put up quite a fight against the defending Super Bowl champion New York Giants last week in the Meadowlands. And also they have big play potential, especially through the air, which is our huge weakness on plays that we do not blitz. So once again, we need to keep the pass rush going as well. I reiterate that every week. And of course, this is something I haven't really said, but it's obviously a key as well, is to win the turnover battle. So hopefully we can do those things. Some notes and numbers. The Browns trail the all-time series against the Bengals 34-35. With a loss, the Browns will have started 0-4 for the first time since 1999. That's not good. Cincinnati quarterback Carson Palmer is 6-2 against us as in his career as a starter. And also the injury report lists Dante Stallworth and Willie McGinnis as doubtful, but Eric Steinbach and Ryan Tucker as questionable. We need them back. My pick, Cleveland by 2. I am getting behind our team this week. That is my only reason for this, really. This is a toss-up game for me. I am picking for our season. I got behind the Browns last week, and I was way off. I have to apologize to Ravens fans. I'm sorry that I thought that our awful team could beat you guys last week. We need to improve greatly if we're going to beat you guys the next time around. I was 24 points off. Against the Bengals, I believe that we'll be able to play just enough defense to get us over the top. As was my theory last week, I don't think our offense is going to win this game for us. It's going to be our defense, I believe, if we do win. I'm just hoping that the offense doesn't screw up too badly. Let us hope that we get the reinforcements that I was talking about on the offensive line. That'll greatly help our cause. If we can get those guys back, maybe, if Derek Anderson can get his head back on straight, great. But if we're getting spanked 21-3 by the Bengals and Brady Quinn does not see any snaps, I am going to personally rant on my video the next time you guys see me, because, there's nothing really I can do. As fans, it's frustrating, but Romeo Crennel has got to get Brady Quinn in there. Speaking of Romeo Crennel, he is on the hot seat. But that's it. I'm picking the Browns to win by 2. Hopefully I'm right. Hopefully we win. I'm 2-1 this season picking. I'm right on our 2 losses. I was wrong the time or 2 of our losses, and I was wrong on the one time I picked us to win. Hopefully we win this time. Huge game, people. I'm calling it our season, as should the team. This is it. And let's hope, for the sake of Browns Nation, that we get in the win column and go into our bye at 1-3, because then we have a huge game against the New York Giants after that. So, once again, I'm AJ, and this is the 2008 Cleveland Browns Bash. I will miss you guys next week, but I will see you 2 weeks from now with a recap of this Bengals game and a preview of our game against the G-Men.